Yeah, we have Shray here, and in fact, I was just telling them a couple of minutes back. Shray got through Harvard Business School. He was our student. So, Shray, what I would suggest is, I think if you could start with just a few words about yourself and how EducationAisle proved to be useful in your journey, and then perhaps we can open the floor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, once again, hi, and sorry to disturb. Interesting topic is mortifying. I'm sure you're having fun. Just quickly about myself, I'm actually a chartered accountant, and then I worked with PwC for a year, and after that, some of the startup bug got on very early, and I joined Food Panda around 3.5 years back. We just started out, so I was one of the first few employees there, and that's when I moved to Bangalore to set up South India, and I think the idea to give a GMAT or prepare for an MBA started somewhere around 5-6 years back, but for the first couple of years I was completely lost. Every time I would think or block a GMAT date, I never blocked a GMAT date, I would think that let's go for it, just never happened. So the entire first year at PwC or Food Panda, I never went ahead with it. So I just talked to a few people in Bangalore, reached out, called Ashish. I had quite a bit of research on where should I start taking some classes, and I think it was an initial interaction, just a phone call with Ashish where I thought, okay, this is where I'm comfortable, because he said just take it at your own pace. He was not unnecessarily aggressive about how things are. You can repeat classes, and that's how I started EducationAisle. That was the first time where I actually took GMAT slightly seriously. Where and I remember the first class, the first thing Ashish suggested was block a date. And that by far, I kid you not, is the best advice you can get if you plan to go for your MBA, because it is so flexible. It's not like it's twice a year, it's almost every single day that you have dates. Something or the other will come in your way. One of your cousins will get married, or you'll get a job posting or some assignment which is very busy. So that always keeps on happening. The only way to do it when you start out, I think 3 months was what Ashish said. Just block a date and take it from there. Once the backward clock starts, it'll still take a couple of weeks to sink in. Once you start doing some assignments here, you realize ki, sorry for the term, but kitne pani mein ho. So, and also the second thing which I really love, and these two things stand out for me because that's what I really remember, that he did not let me take a diagnostic. Ashish was very particular. The only one who's ever said, even my wife had taken the GMAT, she was insistent that take a diagnostic, figure out what areas you're weak in. He just did not let me take a diagnostic, and he said, do a few classes, go through a few subjects, and then come to a diagnostic. These two things help your mind frame a lot. You have an end date, and you don't have any bias in your prep on what works, what doesn't. So, yeah, I think the first and most important step, which is GMAT, you're already on board there, so you've taken that call. Best of luck with that. This is, I know everyone says it, and I'll say the most cliche statement, this is the easiest step of the lot. So get it out of the way as quickly as possible, because the tougher bit comes once your test result comes.
How much was your score, Rash?
I got a 720.
720.
Yeah. So, and I was taking weekend classes here. And after that, I took a week off work. So I had 9 days. A weekend, 5 days, and the weekend again. And on Monday morning, I went and gave the test, and second half, I was in office again. So, and being a chartered accountant, if anyone of you know how C exams work, you get a 3-month leave, and you cut everything down, and you prepare in a very separate way. That's not how GMAT works. It's Ashish mentioned that. There are a few things which I did wrong in my GMAT also, which I tell everyone who's ready to listen, is I took it way too seriously. I did not sleep in time the night before. I was very lazy and groggy next day. I did not see the time in my break, and I reached for the next section 2 minutes late. And that took me at least 5 to 7 minutes to calm down that my timer had started. So,
and plus maybe that cost you 10 or 20 points extra.
It's just the mind frame.
Exactly.
It wasn't difficult. It was, my first few questions, I could hear my heart pounding, and I was going crazy that what is this huge blunder I've done. I am for sure not going to accept this code. So if you start off a section thinking that, it just never goes well. So And I was getting around 750 in my last couple of mocks which I took. And if I hadn't done this blunder of just losing it there, everything would have been fine. So I still don't know today. I still like
How about the application process, Shray?
Yeah, so that's actually the tougher bit. And the only reason when Ashish mentioned come down here and have a chat, I don't mind it at all. I love doing it because I think I've called, emailed, met, bothered. There's some people who's outside who talk to me at 1, 2 a.m. for their time. At least 40 to 50 people across schools, across programs, across countries, Europe, US. And the more you talk, the more you gather, of course, the more you get confused, but you also realize that there is no one single formula that works. And you start looking at basic statistics that everyone had their own story, and the only thing that works was that they were honest about it. So